but I can't. I just want to say thank you to God. It took a little bit for him to show up tonight, but I'm a believer, and I wasn't going to leave until he showed up in this place. I know we were talking about going in the parking lot, and if that's what we had to do, then we were going to go praise God in the parking lot. But God was going to show up today because I believe that we all need a little bit of Jesus. I actually am a spoken word artist. I praise God with my words. I worship him with my words. I acknowledge him with my words. God is my everything. And those of you that have heard me before, and I don't think any of you have, but those of you that have heard me before, I do one particular piece a lot. So I'm going to do one today that I actually do a lot. But I woke up and I thought about the position that God has me in here lately, because it seemed like one thing after another literally was happening. I got in a car accident not too long ago and my car is totaled. Those of you that know, I'm a single mother, so it's like, God, money does not grow on trees. I can't just buy a brand new car or have car payments. You know, I'm paying everything that I possibly can. My apartment complex tried to tell me that I didn't pay rent back in February, and it is July. You're going to tell me now and try to evict me from my apartment. It is July. Are you kidding me? So I'm believing. I really am believing that God is going to totally restore and work on the apartment complex because they need Jesus. But, so I had to sit and think about where I was in my life and where God had me in my life. And I remember there being a time in my life when I looked at everything that was happening around me. I was just talking to Miss Jones back there, and I said, people ask me all the time if I desire to be in a relationship. And I said, I do. I want to be married one day. I have a little boy. I want to be married. I want to have a family. And I thought about it, looking at everyone around me. It's marriage season. It's the summer. People are having babies. Just amazing things are happening in the lives of those that are around me. And so I had to think about it. How many of you have gone through a season where you look at everything everybody else has and you wonder where God is in your life? And I remember there was a point in my life when I was questioning, okay, God, what is up? What's happening? I want this. She has that. She's getting promoted at her job when you still have me answering phones. You know, this person just got a brand new car when I just got my total and I don't have the money to get a new one. Like, I don't understand what's happening. And I think a lot of times when we contemplate that, when we dwell on that, we begin to fall into sinful nature because our flesh wants things to happen on their time, not God's time. So I realized, okay, God, that's where I am. When I wrote this piece, it was probably 2 years ago, and God had me in that position. And God kind of brought me back and said, Christine, you have to remember, before you fall into that sinful nature, you have to remember that I'm not going to fail you. There's never been a time in your life when you have lacked, because I am everything. And I said, okay, Jesus, if I lose my house, if they decide to evict me, that's fine, because I have you, Jesus. You're going to supply all of my needs. It talks about it in Philippians. He will supply all your needs according to his riches and his glory through Christ Jesus. So there's nothing that I have to worry about. So this piece is actually two I collaborated into one, because like I said, I fell into sinful nature in the past, you know, just when I was believing and I wasn't seeing God moving in my life. I decided to take matter into my own hands when then I only created farther death in my life. And, you know, like I said, I'm a single mother, so I have a little boy, and just being really selfish. And then God reminded me, you know, you get so far in sin and then you're like, well, I had that taste of Jesus, and you're left wondering and you're left thinking about God every night, and he's trying to tell you, Christine, don't you remember the time when I didn't fail you? So we're going to go from one position to the next. We're going to go from being in the sinful nature to where God reminds you himself. He loves you that much. He will come down from heaven and remind you himself of the love that he has for you. Okay? It seemed as if everyone was getting blessed but me. So I took matter into my own hands. First sight, true lust. Being with Satan was a must happen. Christ, without you, what could happen? I became so dangerously in love with sin. It was like sitting down with the enemy and signing the dotted lines. See, we shook hands and I just handed him this life of mine. I give myself away so you can use me, lose me, control, not defend me. But see, this is the path that I chose, not the holy, righteous, yellow brick road. I became so dangerously in love with sin. Someone call an ambulance. I cannot breathe. See, the thing. His desire is to dwell in me, not be my right-hand man, but be my wings. Be my eyes when I cannot see, and when I feel like I can't push on any longer, God's desire is to only push me harder, but wait, I cannot move. This sin has me in concrete waist deep that has been smoothed. However, I still have my hands, only to commit more sin and to push away God's promised land. See, they rushed me to the ER where instantly my soul flatlined. While during that surgical procedure, my spiritual life was hard to find because my heart, it lost its first beat. Blessed, put to rest. All because I was so dangerously in love with sin. God came to me and said, now, do you remember when you were blessed with that birth? See, before you were born, I knew you. See, I created you in your mother's womb because to me, you carried a significant worth. Your terrible twos filled with much disobedience, and every night I had your parents get on their face to seek me about your obedience. Even then, I did not fail you. See, you knew the time would come when you had to put away those Thomas the Trains. No more, I think I can, but time to grow up and endure your tests and your trials like a man or a woman. Do you remember when you received that news that you thought was going to kill you? See, even then, I did not fail you. See, I simply just presented the idea of you overcoming this world. See, I thought that if I just gave you my power, you would just give me your faith, the self-control to wait. See, your faith is the victory to overcome this world. Yes. Seeing that I predestined you before the formation of this world, I knew your heart's desire to make these worldly things a must. Do you remember when you were taught right from wrong? Yet every wrong decision, your heart still longed to be closer to me. Yet the same sin, time and time again, see, it only pushed you farther, making it harder for your return. See, even then, I did not fail you because I knew the true desire of your heart. See, I purposely sent the person to your right to only shed an indescribable light upon the areas within your life that needed a sufficient difference. See, I constantly labored. I constantly labored to build a fence for your defense because my only desire was to protect all things that were pure and holy. See, I left no room for anything that was worldly, making the only way to enter by obtaining the keys of the kingdom of heaven. See, beyond the gate, obtainable blessings lie. So why do you still believe the enemy's lies? I'm going to say it again. Beyond the gate, beyond where you are today, beyond your present situation, beyond your circumstances, beyond whatever lie anybody's trying to tell you, beyond your current position, obtainable blessings lie. There's so much in store for you. There's so much God has for you. Attainable blessings lie. So why do you still believe the enemy's lies? Wow. Yes. Hallelujah. Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten that I gave my only son? I gave my only begotten son with the hope that you would not perish, yet cherish all that he went through to provide for you an everlasting life. See, I only asked you for enough belief, the size of a mustard seed. Your self-control, the willpower to resist so the enemy will flee. So I'm asking you today to take the time to remember all the times within your life where you have carried this crazy amount of favor that to this day will not waver, even through all of your bad decisions and unbelief. Trust me, says the Lord. Dwell in my land, feed on my faithfulness. I promise, my child, my words are not amiss. So I, Christine Meadows, I am asking you guys today just to remember everything that God has done in your life. Whether, like I said, you guys are in a hard position, your apartment complex is trying to evict you, it doesn't matter. You have got to stand strong on God.